Hello and welcome to the DisClaymer podcast. Once again, it is episode 29. I believe we're coming up on 30, or is it going to be 30? Is it 30 today? I think it's 29 today, right? I don't know. It's one of those episodes today. And what's Thursday? It's Thirsty Thursday for all my dudes out there. Make sure you guys drop a like. And if you're new, subscribe. All my social media links are down below. If you're just listening to this, go check me out on YouTube, DisClaymer Podcast, DisClaymer. Very clever name. DisClaymer Podcast on YouTube. Go check me out. What's going on, you guys? Hope you guys are having a good day, night, whatever time it is that you're listening to this. I had another really weird dream. Another very, very weird, very, very bad. It was a bad dream and it was a weird dream at the same time. Very uncomfortable for me. Kind of personal, so I can't really talk about it, but I don't know what's going on, man. I'm not sure. What does anybody know the reason why why is it because I'm stressed or something, or is it because I've had 2 consecutive bad dreams in a row? Am I dreading something? Am I going through something that I don't know of right now, dude? I mean, I am going through something like life, like trying to figure out life. That's something, but it's not really like I don't see why I'd be having nightmares about stuff, because it wasn't nightmarish, like it wasn't like super scary, but it was just like a life. It was like a really bad decision I made, and then also there was just a lot going on there. Okay, it was just a lot going on. And at some point in my dream, I got into my car, and my car was like, it looked like a freaking what's it called? A slug bug? Wait, what's that? What is that? It's a Volkswagen. Is it called a slug bug? Like I'm trying to think, man. I think it's called a slug bug. I remember when I was a kid, we used to play Slug Bug and Cruiser Bruiser. Slug Bug and Cruiser Bruiser, where you could just, if you spotted one, you could punch somebody right in the face, punch them right across the face. I don't know, but it was something like that, and I got I got in the wrong side of the Slug Bug or whatever car it was. Really weird car. I got in the back seat of it on accident, and didn't realize that I was in the back seat. So I forget what happened. So I was driving and I was in the back seat, and I was like, there's no steering wheel, there's no pedals, there's nothing. And then I realized I was in the back seat. And so I was going down the road, and I was starting to veer off course. So I was like, I quickly had to hop in the front seat, and I forget what happened after that. But it's all fuzzy now. But I don't know what's happening. I'm having these bad dreams. And there's just another. There's like the meat of the dream is just a really bad. It's just a really, really bad. And I just, I'm so happy that I'm alive right now, and that this is real life. Or is it? We could do a deep dive on whether life is a simulation or not, because I don't, like, so yesterday I was saying, hey, why do we have dreams? It could be an alternate reality or something, but I don't see how an alternate reality could entail me playing soccer with gorillas in my backyard. I don't see how an alternate reality could entail, me looking in a mirror and seeing myself being super old or losing my teeth or whatever it may be. Because I've seen that in dreams before, and I've played soccer with monkeys and gorillas before in my dreams. I don't think it's an alternate universe. It could be something symbolic. I know in the Bible it's generally used for symbolism, but we truly don't know what it is. Like, what is it, dude? Maybe it could be an alternate universe, actually. Maybe it could be, because alternate universes, that it could go on to infinity, so it could include any kind of possibility. So there could be a universe where I am playing soccer with monkeys and gorillas in my backyard, in some really, really weird, like, where this house is still a thing, the backyard's still a thing, we still have a civilization, but somehow gorillas and monkeys are running around the United States. I don't know. But do you feel like life is do you ever, like, the deja vus? Could that be also another thing that could be proof of a simulation? Like, that could be almost like a glitch or something. I love it, but I hate it at the same time because it makes me nervous. Having a deja vu, I immediately, no matter what I'm doing, and whenever I have a deja vu, I call it out. No matter who I'm with or whatever, I call it out because it's just so weird. Like I don't. Sometimes I feel like I've dreamt it before, but other times like the feeling is obviously that you've been there before, you've done this before. But there are certain things that I've done where like there's certain deja vus that I've had where I know I have not done that before. I have not been doing that before. And could that be an alternate reality? Could it be an alternate life? It's all up in the air, and life is all up in the air. But a simulation could make more sense because they're seeing that it's possible to, if they could figure out how to take our consciousness out of our body, put it into a chip, put it into a program, and essentially have this program be a simulation of life like this one. Eventually, like far down the road from now, we're going to have the technology probably to do that. We're going to figure out how to do that once we start, screwing in the loose bolts and screws of, technology, of computer science and all that stuff. And I think that eventually once we have computer science starting to merge with biology and we start to figure out how the brain works and what consciousness is. Geez, I tell you what, I'm going into a really heavy topic. I tell you what, I'm very sophisticated. Just kidding. But once we figure out, once we can merge biology with like computer science and technology, once we get that, like you can make a song, biology and technology, it rhymes. Make a song out of it. Yeah, one rhyme and make a song. That's eventually, I think we figure out consciousness, and we're going to be able to do what they did on Black Mirror, which is essentially just store your consciousness in a simulation, make it look like this life. We think it's this life or whatever. Like, you could program it to where you can have offspring now, too, in the simulation, and then the life carries on. But then those kids don't know if life is those kids won't realize that it's a simulation. They're just a part of the simulation. And have we gotten so deep in this life that we can't even recall that it's a simulation? And maybe like only the super, super rich people, like the super powerful people in this world are the only ones that know it is a simulation. And that's how they can acquire so much money, because they already know what the future is and stuff or whatever. I don't know, man. I'm just throwing things out here. Like the freaking what's a super rich I'm talking like secret society rich, like secret society people who are running things, people who are actually making the decisions on everything in the world, who are controlling the world. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like, what? You ever think about what it's like to live back then? Here's the deal. I used to want to live back. Like, who is controlling the world? Like, you didn't have that back in like the 1500s, did you? I mean, obviously there's some empires or whatever, some civilizations, but there really wasn't a ruling there wasn't the possibility of having power over the world, even though some people had aspirations. But I always wanted to live back then just to see what it was like living back in whatever 1500s, 1600s, even 1800s. But then I realized nowadays that I would have been dead a long time ago, because not only do I have glasses and my sight is terrible, but I got appendicitis in the 3rd grade, and obviously back then they didn't have any surgeries they didn't have any idea what to do in the event of physical injuries besides amputation. So I would have died in the 3rd grade if I wanted to go back then. I also get even just having a cold, you would die. Just having a little sickness. So I would have been dead a long time ago. I'm just gonna say that right now. I'd have been dead a long, long time ago if I lived back then. All like so I wouldn't be, even if I would have survived, even if I wouldn't have had appendicitis, even if I wouldn't get sick all the time, right? I also had to get my tonsils out recently. That's another problem. Um, even if I was good in those three areas, I never got sick or anything. I think the eyesight thing would be a real big issue for me. Like so obviously there's a lot of wars and stuff back then, lots of battles. I probably would have had to fought at some point, and like not being able to, not being able to see. So the guys who would survive, but they just had bad eyesight, and if you went into war and you can't see, you're dead. You're pretty much dead. You're automatically at a disadvantage, especially in like hand-to-hand combat. Maybe you might be able to get one guy down just by luck, but you can't, like, I cannot see a fist coming at my face or like a sword coming at my stomach. You know what I'm saying? I can't really, I couldn't really anticipate that until it's until it's in my stomach pretty much. I couldn't see it until it's in my stomach. You know, I can see the outline. It's like just one big blur, and you know, I'd try to be able to defend it, but I'd die immediately if I lived back then. That's one thing that I always thought about, was like, what is it like to live back then? Did they ever? I don't know if they ever had any thoughts. I wish they could also go back to like 10,000 years ago. To is it 10,000 years ago that the pyramids were built? 10,000, or just 10,000 years ago in general, just to see what the people were like, or like even 50,000 years ago. What was it like back then? How did people interact with each other? How did they handle crime? How did they handle all of their government? I mean, they probably didn't even have government back then. How do they handle all that stuff? You know, I forget dude, I'm so rusty with history. I took world history when I was in high school, but I don't remember anything about it. But I don't think they might have had irrigation. I don't know. I forget when they started it. I think the oldest dead body that they ever found. Oldest dead person. Okay, whoopsies. That's not, I looked up the wrong thing. That's not what I wanted. What am I looking for? The oldest corpse ever found. Oldest corpse found. I remember studying this guy. Yeah. So the mummy was found in September of 1991. This guy, that's not right. No way. Wait, I thought they said he's like 100,000 years old. That's not right. There we go. Okay, the oldest known evidence for anatomically modern humans as of 2017 are fossils found at Jibal Urud, Morocco, dated about 300,000 years old. 300,000 years old? Anatomically modern human remains of 8 individuals dated 300,000 years old, making the oldest known remains categorized as modern. So I'm curious to know how use carbon dating for that? What do they do? Did they base it off like what layer of sediment they found the bodies in? Or like, wow, this is really... What? Okay, this is also another thing. How old is the oldest skeleton ever found? Lucy, Australopithecus. So I guess not technically a human. Yo, this is crazy though. Age is 3.2 million years, and it was discovered in Ethiopia. Yeah, that's like the hotbed for finding a bunch of old stuff, is Ethiopia, and like that, like Northern Africa / the Middle Eastern area. That's where you're gonna find all the ancient stuff. You know, that's where I think that's where did life? I mean, life started in Africa. That's what they theorize, right? Life started in Africa, made its way to Europe, to Asia. It's so crazy though how much different like we all are in terms of race. Like the Asians are completely different than, the Europeans, right? There's so much I'm always curious to see like how did Asians get their physique versus how did Europeans get their physique versus how Africans, how do they get their physique, and how did what Latins get their physique. Like there's just so much. I don't know. We don't. I wish we knew. That's one thing I just wish we could just go back, and I wish they would have kept freaking records or something back then so we could have known. How did I get on this topic anyways? I'm talking about simulation, just suddenly going history, going on about history. But I wish I could, like, so like the Indians, or like I guess Native Americans, you're supposed to call them. We just call them Indians. We just stuck with it. Just call them Indians. But Native Americans, they looked almost, I don't know if they were even, they didn't look that, I guess kind of Asian, but not really. You know, the tribes in South America, they had their, I mean, they really had their own look going. There wasn't, hold on, let me look up a Native American too. Let's look this up too. If I go back to any time, man, it'd just be really cool just to see how they all got along, just how old. Hold on for a second. Native American. Let's take a look here. Images. You know what? Actually, they do kind of look Asian. I'm not gonna lie. There's a little bit of Asian in them, but also, see, they said that they theorized that they came over from Asia to North America. That had to be a long time ago, because they look sort of Asian, but they got their own thing going on, man. They got their own thing going on. And like, that's the thing, is that we have an entire history. We understand the history of Europe, you know, because they kept documents, and we kind of understand the history of China/Asia, because they kept records, they kept documents. The entire Americas, North America and South America, is all one huge mystery. We have no idea what went down there. I mean, obviously the explorers, right? Columbus and Cortez, the conquistadors, all those guys. I swear there's a conquistador named Cortez, right? Cortez, who murdered people, essentially just went on a rampage, right? I mean, now South America now is pretty much, I mean, Brazil is Portuguese, and then all the other countries are just Spanish. So now it's like you don't really see very much of tribes. When I went to Guatemala, I saw a lot of Mayan descent. So this city that I went to, Santiago, I think it was called, or something, off this lake. We had to travel across a lake on boat. Made me really freaking sick. Okay, I hate speedboats. When it keeps going up and down, it makes me sick. But it was a lot of Mayan people speaking, and they spoke some different language, but you know, they had they kind of looked like Indians. Or Native Americans. They looked like Native Americans, kind of. The same facial features, a very long. Hold on, let me look up a Mayan. I wish I could compare this with you guys. Like, if you think of a Native American and you look at a Mayan too, they have a very Mayan people, very similar face. Yes, so a longer face. Their eye, they look very, very similar, so similar. And I'm sure, I don't know any Incas. Let me look up Inca people, Inca descent people, Inca. They all come from the same. Yeah, they all come from the same bloodline. I swear, but they don't look. It's not necessarily. It kind of is Asian, but it's kind of not though. It has to be. To be kind of. I guess it kind of just depends on where, how long ago they came over to the Americas, and then they evolved differently from the Asians in China, Japan, Vietnam, Thailand, all that stuff. But that's a completely different history than it's a completely unknown history. And we have I forget, it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. I forget who he had on, but they talked about how they found it was dated back to the 1500s, how they found possible remains or something of a huge, vast civilization down in the rainforest of South America, down in the Amazon rainforest. They found remains of a possibly huge civilization that got wiped out or something. And there are records of Europeans saying, "Oh, you need to come to this place. That's a huge place. So many people." blah 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 bitty blue bitty blah blah, but it got wiped out somehow, and we don't know. We don't know, and we don't know when those guys came over from Asia, if they did even come over from Asia. Otherwise, how else would they get over there? I don't know. If they came on boats, possibly. We don't know. I wish we did, though. But those guys have their own thing, like Native Americans / the tribal South Americans, they got their own thing going. But now if you go there, if you go to South America now, it's basically Spanish, and then you got the Portuguese, pretty much all that bloodline. So like Colombia, it's like purely Spanish. And like that makes me think, what if they didn't find, like, what would South America look like now if the Spanish and if the Spaniards and the Portuguese did not if they didn't decide to go and try to voyage out to there, if they decided, hey, let's just stay home and we're fine with where we're at, what would South America and North America look like even? I mean, could you imagine being the first people to land on North America, seeing all those buffalo and having these, all these different tribes? Because, like, in Europe, obviously Europe was a little more advanced because they had guns and stuff. They had civilizations, and the Native Americans were still living like, almost not really like nomads. There's kind of had like some civilization living in tribes, but they really were like these packs of like 200, 300 people generally, living across the plains. But they were also kind of grisly too. They fought each other. They had their own rivalries. And if they would have been smart enough and banded together, they might have been able to defeat, but that's probably unrealistic because obviously, the Europeans had had more technology. When you have guns and stuff, and cannons, you can't really fight against that with horses and bow and arrows. I mean, you try to kill as many people as you can, but it's not really. It's kind of an unfair fight when you think about it. But they had their own thing going on. I wish we had more of them around. Now Native Americans are still living on. They still have these reservations, which is weird. And I think they've kind of I don't know what's the word. Like they're kind of. I mean, first of all, there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of them, and also they're starting to get. They kind of like they're acclimated to America pretty much, right? But I don't know. I kind of wish there was more. Like, I wish there was more tribal people because they look. I mean, it's just like having different people. I don't know, just having a diversity, right? I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to have. Just to have that kind of diversity in America, but there's not really that many. Left, which is kind of it's sad, and hey, I'm gonna use this term again. It's a grisly truth. Anyways, you guys, all right, that's enough of me going off about the history of America. Essentially, let's take a look at the news. Let's get right into the news. What even got me started on that topic again? Seriously, I'm gonna travel. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this podcast. I'm gonna call this podcast. We're gonna call this podcast History Lesson 10, History 101 with Clay. I don't even know what I'd call this. I wanna meet Native Americans. Could you imagine? That's I'll just title this. Could you imagine? Lots of possibilities. Or the oldest. I don't know. All right. Anyways. In the news, ladies and gentlemen, in the news, this is inappropriate. I can't even read this first thing, okay, guys? Just look. No, actually, no, I'm not even going to say it. It's inappropriate, guys. Very inappropriate. Happy Mean Girls Day, you guys. Apparently today is Mean Girls Day. Did not watch Mean Girls. And I don't even know how old that movie is, but apparently this is Mean Girls Day. I'm not really sure why. But, Happy Mean Girls Day. And man, oh day, there's just a lot of politics going on. And I know I talked about this yesterday too. The media is trying to divide you. I don't want to go in depth about this, but the media is trying to divide you. Ladies and gentlemen, Tesla. Oh, he's worried. Oh boy. So Tesla, didn't Tesla release something? Tesla released no, they were showing off. Oh my gosh, what was it? Tesla was showing off something to do with space. I forget, something to do with space. But now analyst says for the first time ever he's worried about Tesla demand. That's really important stuff. Is there anything cool going on here? I know Fortnite, dude. Fortnite, new season of Fortnite. I might even dedicate a whole new podcast to the new season, just talking about the spoilers. All right, that I know, that I've seen. I'm kind of I'm excited to see what's happening. Although I don't really have a reason to play Fortnite anymore. It's just filled with a bunch of sweaties, but I'm probably going to make a podcast. Honestly, I'm going to make tomorrow's podcast might be why Fortnite. Actually, no, I should wait till after the new season. Then I'm going to make a podcast called Why Fortnite is Dead. And I'm going to explain to you why Fortnite is so freaking dead. You know, it's just so I can't I'm not streaming it or anything. Just trying to play it for fun is impossible. I hate it now. I hate Fortnite, and I get why. Now I can see why people quit Fortnite. I can see why I don't want to get too deep into it, but I can see why people quit Fortnite because it's just like, it's not fun anymore. People are children, 5-year-olds now are playing it to sweat on you. Okay, 10-year-olds are playing because they wanna do the World Cup, right? They want to be as good as the pros are, and then there's me, who's I don't have nearly as fast of a reaction speed as these kids, and I don't have the mental, like, my brain's not evolving as quickly as theirs is. So they're learning the game really quickly. They're seeing, oh, if he does this, I'm gonna do this. This is how I build. I'm gonna do this build maneuver. If he does this, I can't compete with that, man. I can't compete with that. And then I just get sweated on by all these PC sweats. So there's really no reason for me to be playing. I can play. FIFA's a fun game. I should get the new FIFA. FIFA's a fun game to play, but Fortnite, man, it's pretty stale as of right now. I don't want to speak too soon though. I kind of feel like I already have, because the new season is definitely probably going to bring a new map, and that excites me, but. And they're going to try to do skill-based matchmaking, but I still don't have any hope for it. I think it's starting to decline. We need something new. We need something fresh, something new, something that's going to excite everybody again. Gonna bring that I don't know what, that, like, it was just like when Fortnite was first created, it was all about having fun. So much fun. We're having so much fun. This is amazing. We love it. I remember the first time I played Fortnite, I remember landing, and I was swinging my pickaxe, and I was breaking stuff, and I was like, wait a second. I was like, wait, what? You can break things in this game? You can build in this game? And I didn't even know it was free. I was like, why is everybody talking about Fortnite? I don't feel like buying it. And then my friend told me, he's like, dude, it's free. And I was like, wait, what? And then I got it, and it was so much fun. I played it all the time. Then I started streaming it back last year. March of? No, it's more like I started streaming like April or May of 2018. So I was a little bit late on it, but it was a fun time. And we need another game. We need another video game like that. That's a completely different topic though. I'm gonna wait until the new season comes out so I can talk about it, and I have stuff to talk about. Maybe nerd out a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see if they can revive it. See if they can fix their game. Because honestly, the map is super stale. All of it's just super stale. But they got it. I'm pretty certain they got all these new names, new POI names. So we'll see what happens. All right, you guys. I'm getting out of here. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll do the podcast on why I was going to do the podcast today about why I don't trust media, and really go into political stuff and really deep dive into all that jargon. But I don't know if I wasn't ready to do it today. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. But hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Love, peace, chicken grease.